Welcome everyone. Hail to my fellow Selvan citizens. I am the prophet of Pagulane. Come, join me by the fire. Sit a while and hear a thrilling and dramatic tale like no other. Walk the path with me amongst the gods of old in each chapter of Book 1, Fall of Immortals. Chapter 15, The King's Court. 2 days after the conclusion of the Selvan campaign, 3 hawks arrived in the Selvan aviary, each carrying a priority message. One message was marked with the regal seal of Dalston, another carried the seal of Deneviri's royal viceroy, and the third was marked as an urgent report from the infantry commander. The words on each parchment had to be treated with paramount importance and were immediately delivered to Darwin, senior preceptor Legume. In the Selvan court, Darwin was not only the most respected, but he was also the closest advisor to King Lovi. Darwin's loyalty and commitment never wavered to the crown, and his service to Selva remained steady in unstable times, from one monarch to another. Yet Lovi was somehow admired more by Darwin. The two had built a friendship during Lovi's reign and could often be found speaking together casually where appropriate. It was clear that this afternoon would not be one of leisure, as Darwin was disturbed in his office by 3 urgent knocks on his door. "Lord Darwin, I bring urgent news requiring your immediate attention," said the voice on the other side of the door. The brown bear arose from his desk, his solitary thought broken. Darwin then adorned the symbols of his title and prepared himself for a long day. "Come in." Darwin beckoned. The door opened abruptly, and the courier bent on one knee, presenting a trio of reality-changing information. Darwin collected the scrolls, breaking seal after seal, starting with Dalston, then Deneviria, and lastly, Commander Zalden's report. Darwin's eyes were in disbelief behind his glasses, and his hand trembled as he read each message. "You're dismissed, soldier. Please inform the king I request an immediate assembly of the high-ranking royal court," Darwin uttered, leaning back onto his desk for support. "Right away, my lord," replied the courier, closing the door behind him as he left. "What has he done? I must inform King Lovi," he said to himself. Around a half an hour later, the summons were delivered, and an hour after that, King Lovi, General Balthor, and the Preceptor Legume gathered in the throne room. "All of us are present by your summons, Darwin. What is so urgent that it could not wait for tomorrow's meeting?" King Lovi said as he called the assembly to order. Darwin stepped out of the lineup to face the king and his peers. "My king, my lords, 3 messenger hawks arrived today, and all with crucial news," Darwin addressed the room. "It is my understanding that our recently appointed commander exceeded his mandate. He not only campaigned against our enemies, but our allies as well. Victorious or not, we were not prepared to seize such a vast amount of territory so quickly," he said. "It will be an administrative nightmare. We will have an uphill battle attempting to re-establish trust between the people of those nations and us, not to mention the time and effort it will take for them to accept us as their new rulers," Jordan added. "Is this true?" asked King Lovi. "It most certainly looks so, sire. I have a message here from King Norvik, terminating our alliance and declaring war unless we withdraw troops from his land. I have another from the Viceroy of Deneviria, stating that they are yielding their lands to Selva and are proposing to become a part of the Selvan sovereignty. Finally, and most concerning, Commander Zaldin reports a successful campaign against the Gaulics. Yet it also says in his report that the relief administration will be required after successful assaults, bringing both Deneviria and Dalston into compliance. Darwin answered, "Remarkable. He actually did it. Amazing." King Lovi laughed out loud. "Sire, I must protest. This is a serious matter. What message does it send to applaud such rash and treasonous behavior? In all my years of service, I never thought you would display such favoritism to an outsider," injected General Balfour daringly. "I concur, my king," said Jordan in a much more cautious tone. "We cannot just overlook this. He must be punished. Who will be our allies now? No one will trust us. Our trade will be decimated," Jordan argued. "Your Majesty, we are all in agreement. His accomplishments aside, not punishing him may set a bad precedent throughout the kingdom," Darwin added, leaving the room silent for Lovi's contemplation. "It cannot be undone. Yet," Lovi paused, "do your best to organize administration for our new territories and summon Zaldin. He is temporarily relieved of duty and is commanded to return to Silver City immediately for a war audit," commanded King Lovi. "Right away, sire. We will begin immediately," said Darwin as he bowed. "All are dismissed, except you, Balfour. I want a word with you in private." "Leave us," commanded the king. The Selvan knights cleared the room, shutting the large doors behind them as the advisors left. "Do you have something you need to get off your mane, Balfour?" sternly asked King Lovi. "I ask that you forgive my insolence, sire. Yet I feel there has been a great injustice done here," he responded sincerely. "To Selva or to you, General? I understand you feel it should have been you promoted to commander instead, but there were larger factors to consider," Lovi said. "Was my decades of loyalty and service not a factor? The battles I fought defending you, this city, and its people. Was it not enough, wise king?" Balfour asked passionately. "These outsiders stroll in and do what I have done countless times, yet they seem to be the ones in your best graces. Would you call that justice, old friend?" The weight of a harsh truth burdened Lovi as he sat on the throne, looking down at the veteran general. The passion of a young soldier still burned behind his aged eyes. Lovi stepped down from the throne to face his friend as he told him this. Lovi placed his hand on Balfour's shoulder. "You are right, Balfour. I can see how these events of late could have offended you. You have taken and saved many lives for this city, and I have counted on you in the darkest of times. In fact, there will be more times in the future where I'm sure that I will rely on you. However," Lovi paused after recognizing the general's valor. King Lovi looked his friend in the eye and said, "But you have yet to give me an empire," he concluded, patting Balfour on the shoulder as he left the general to his thoughts in the throne room. Early the next morning, a hawk returned to liberate its bastion with the king's decree. Zaldin laughed as Xanatos read the message. It almost sounds as if they want to punish me for victory, said Zalden. The light-hearted humor eclipsed the anxiety in the room. He and all of his senior staff were present around the war table. It had been moved from the encampment outside the city walls and into the finest inn where the Gallic chieftains were housed. At Zalden's command, he and his league occupied it after claiming the market city. What are you all laughing at? This is serious. This is a royal decree, and you could lose your rank. Milian stressed the severity of the situation. I bet that serpent had something to do with this, said Odysseus. I have no doubt. His persistence is becoming aggravating, Zalden added. That snake is due for a skinning. Allow me, War Marshal. I could have a pair of fine boots made from his hide, Zara offered. We needed to secure our current patron. They would get nervous if we started making noblemen disappear, the War Marshal replied. Shogun of the Heavens Book 1 is available on Amazon and Amazon Kindle or for order at your local Barnes & Noble's bookstore. The Amazon link to purchase the book is in the description of the video. Behold, as we all dive into the world of myths and fiction. Book 2, The Throne Crusher, is still set to be released on December 9th, 2024. This installment changes the tempo of the story, allowing us to go deeper into popular role characters who will now step to the forefront of this epic tale. On this channel, we will be providing you a series of samples read from the Shogun of the Heavens book series and complemented by visuals from the story as envisioned by the author. Please like and share the video, subscribe to our channel, and comment below. Then, while you're at it, follow us on Facebook and Instagram, where you can compare our competing galleries of artworks brought to life from the story. Thank you.